Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalie and today we are doing my April TBR jar picks, my April TBR. I can't believe it's already going into April, like this year is flying by. I'm very excited for April because my birthday's in April. I'm doing a lot of fun things. Actually, two of my best friends are coming in April. I'm meeting an author that I'm very excited about, which you guys will see in a vlog, I'm sure, but there's just a lot of fun, exciting things going on in April, so I'm very excited for this month in general, but I'm also very excited to pick my April TBR. I will tell you, a lot of these books were on last month's TBR because I ended up doing a video where I read a series that consisted of 9 books that took up a lot of my March reading. So there are some repeats on here, but there's also new books on here. So I'm very excited to just jump in and figure out what our April TBR is going to be. Also, the sun's going in and out, so just ignore that. It's gonna probably change the lighting a lot, but it is what it is. So just bear with me on it. But I have my TBR cart right here. I have my jar right here. And again, these I got off of Etsy from a company called Buy Instantly Booked. So if you guys are interested, you can look them up on Etsy. They have a bunch of printout TBR cards. So all I did was print them out and then cut them all up. So that's how I got all these. But let's just get into picking out my TBR for April. I think I'm only gonna go with 8 books this month because I have some videos planned where I'm reading different books that are not in here. So we're just gonna play it safe and pick out 8 instead of 10 this month. Number 1 of April is a book with chapter titles. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. I've never like gotten this prompt before in any TBR thing I've done. I'm guessing this means like instead of it saying like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, which it may still have that, it actually has a title for the chapters. So we're gonna have to do some digging here. I'm automatically going for Binding 13 to look first because, okay, I think we're good with this one. Definitely choosing Binding 13. I have had so many people recommend this book to me recently. I haven't been in a slump, but I haven't found any 5-star reads this year, so I've been like a little disappointed in reading. I have read some great books, don't get me wrong, but I haven't found a 5-star read. And when I asked people what their top 5-star read was, so many people replied with Binding 13 and just the series in general. So I really feel like I need to finally jump into it, and I'm kind of finally in the mood to read it. This has a book with chapter titles. Chapter 1 says High Hopes. Chapter 2 it says Everything Has Changed. So I'm guessing this is what that means. But for our first book with chapter titles, it's going to be Binding 13. I'm gonna really work on trying to pick this up in April because it's been on my TBR for a while now and I think I will really like it. I've just been putting it off. I don't know why, but I think I honestly will really enjoy this. So first pick for April TBR is gonna be Binding 13. Number 2 for our April TBR is a book that's part of a trilogy. Let's see if we do have any trilogies here. Is the fine print part of a trilogy? See, I'm gonna have to look this up because in my mind I want to say it is a trilogy, but there might be more books than I think. So let me check really quick. Okay, yes, it is part of a trilogy. It's the Dreamland Billionaires series. There's a collection of 3 different books. So this is perfect. The only Lauren Asher book I've read so far is Love Redesigned, and I absolutely loved that book. I didn't rate it 5 stars, but it was a 4-star, like very much up there. I loved it. So I've really been wanting to read the Dreamland Billionaire series. There aren't any more books out in the other series I started by her, so this is perfect because if I like this one, I can move on to the other 2 in the series. Very excited about this one. So this book is about Rowan and Zara. Rowan is basically a businessman. He creates like theme parks, all of that kind of stuff, and his goal is to renovate this place called Dreamland. It's like one of the biggest projects he would take on. In comes Zara. She drunkenly writes into Rowan kind of criticizing Dreamland's most expensive ride, and she thinks she's gonna get fired, but he ends up offering her a job out of it, which is kind of crazy, but they end up kissing and kind of start to form a relationship, but things are kind of sticky. So I'm excited to jump into this series. Again, I've heard a lot of great things, so I can't wait to read this. Book number 3 of April is an author you've never read. Honestly, there's quite a few authors I haven't read on my TBR right now. It's kind of going to be my pick. Let's see what we have here. I think I'm going to grab this one. It's called Cleopatra and Frankenstein, and honestly, I see this like everywhere on Pinterest. Like it's a very aesthetic looking book. A lot of people put it in their photos, but I don't really know much about it. But I've definitely never read this author before. Her name is Coco Mellors. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I haven't read her, so this is a good book to pick up for this one. So this is kind of interesting. I'm not completely sure what this story is gonna be about, but from the description, the story is about Cleo. She's a 24-year-old British painter. She ends up moving to New York and kind of escapes England. But a few months before her student visa ends, she ends up meeting this man named Frank. And Frank is like a 20-year-old self-made success. And he basically offers her a green card to get married, her to have the chance to paint and kind of just be in this marriage. But during this time, Cleo is struggling with depression and Frank, her husband, is struggling with excessive drinking. And then in comes like Cleo's best friend and Frank's sister, and they have like their own problems of their own. So I think it's just like a whole jumble. We'll see how I like this. It's definitely something I've never read before. Nothing like anything I've ever read. So I'm excited. I'm very intrigued by this book. Again, like I haven't really heard much about it. I've just seen it in like photos on Pinterest. So I'm excited to kind of like read something new and different than what I would typically grab. Third book for our April TBR is Cleopatra and Frankenstein. Book number 4 of April is a book with a pink cover. You guys know pink is just my all-time favorite color. It's literally all throughout my entire room. We love a pink cover. I guess the only 2 pink covers I have right now on my TBR are Girl Abroad and Night Shift, and I'm going to grab Night Shift for this one. I've seen a few people reading it lately and it's definitely like calling my name. This is like a basketball player bookworm kind of romance, and I just think it'll be like a light, fun read. The cover is so cute. It's pink obviously, and I just love the graphics, so I'm excited to try this one out. I think it'll just be a fun little cutie romance to throw in between some of these other books. I'm excited to add this to my TBR. Book number 5 for my April TBR. Let's see. A book with gold foil on the cover. Ooh. Okay, this one's so fun, and I honestly think there's only one book I have with gold foil. I feel like this is honestly very rare to have covers with gold foil on this, so this is kind of perfect. But I have One Dark Window and it has the gold foil on it. It's so pretty. I love the cover of this book. This is one I've been putting off for a very long time. My best friend literally raves about this book. She loves it so much, and I know she's been wanting me to read it. This one along with Binding 13 are definitely 2 of the ones I really need to get off my TBR, so this is a good chance to do this. My goal for April is to really honestly stick to my TBR and read a lot of these books that I've had for a while but have just been putting off for some reason. So this is the perfect one to add to this TBR. So this book is about Elspeth Spindle. She's basically living in this kingdom of blunder and she needs a monster to keep her safe, which she does find, but also this obviously doesn't come for free. There's pros and cons of it. She comes across this mysterious highwayman and she's basically thrust into this journey to cure blunder of this dark magic that's infecting it. But this highwayman just happens to be the king's nephew, so he's like the captain of the most dangerous men in blunder. So we'll see how this all plays out. Again, like I don't really know too much about this book. I just know that people really like it, so I'm excited to throw it in. And obviously we don't have a fantasy yet, so this is perfect. Book number 6 of April, a book with a map in it. Typically if there's a map in it, it's usually going to be a fantasy, so I'm going to check fantasy books first. I feel like we might have a few, honestly. Okay, so we have The Ballad of Never After, which has a map right in the front cover. Let's see about Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Okay, this one doesn't have a map. I'm gonna go with The Ballad of Never After for this one because again, like I read the first book, I really loved it. I just haven't jumped into the second book, and I honestly might be reading this book for a very exciting video coming up that I'm filming with my best friend, so we'll see if I end up reading this for that, but it might be a possibility. But this is the second book after Once Upon a Broken Heart. I really enjoyed that one, so I'm excited to kind of dive into this one and continue along with the characters and just kind of see how everything plays out, because there was definitely things at the end that were left unsaid and I really wanted to figure out what happens next. Obviously this cover is so stunning and I know a lot of people are in love with this series, so I'm excited to just continue it and jump into The Ballad of Never After. So book number 6 for April is going to be The Ballad of Never After. Book number 7 of our April TBR. Ooh, okay, a book with a music playlist. We'll see if I have any of those. I'm not completely positive if any of these have a playlist, so we're gonna have to do some digging here. Ooh, okay, honestly the first one I pulled has a playlist right here, which is so fun. I love when books have playlists. I think it's so much fun to listen to them and to see what the author kind of envisioned for the songs that go along with the book. So this one is the first one I pulled. I love sports romances, as you guys know. I've definitely been wanting to read this. It's definitely a thick book, so it's gonna take me a little bit to get through, but it sounds very interesting. This is obviously a hockey romance. This is about Rachel Price. She basically has a one-night stand, never talks to the guy again, and then she gets her dream job or dream apprenticeship, basically working as a physical therapist for this new hockey team. team in Tampa, and of course, like, the hockey player that comes in was the one she had the one night stand with, and she's now working with him, doing physical therapy for him and his teammates. And then along comes some of the other teammates. They end up liking her. I don't know if it's like a triangle or more than that, but it'll be very interesting and I'm sure very messy, so I'm excited to pick this one up. This is book number 1 in the Jacksonville Rays series, so I'm excited to read this one. The very last book, I'm only going to do 8 this month just because I have some other books planned for certain videos, so we're not going to like really push ourselves with this TBR, but book number 8 is a book with the fake dating trope. So let's see what books we have with fake dating. Is hopeless fake dating? I don't really know. Ooh, okay. The first ones I pull end up being like the exact ones I need, but I have yet to read Hopeless, and I've honestly been itching to finish this series. I literally love this series, so the fact that I haven't read the last book is kind of crazy, but this is a fake fiance trope, so I'm just gonna put it in here as our fake dating trope. But this one is about Beau and Bailey. It's the last book in the Chestnut Spring series, and I've just been putting it off. I have no idea why. I think because it kind of seemed more of like a summer spring book to me, and it was obviously winter. So now that we're going into spring and summer, I feel like I can pick this up more easily. So I'm very excited to finally finish off the Chestnut Spring series and read about Beau's story. For our 8th book, we're going to add Hopeless to the April TBR. Those were all the books I ended up picking for my April TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm very excited for the upcoming reading months because I have been just itching for a 5-star read, and I feel like this is a really great TBR, and I feel like I might find a 5-star read in here, so that gives me a lot of hope and I'm very excited. Let me know what you guys are planning on reading in April, if you guys have any books or any books that are coming out soon that you're very excited to read. I just need all the Ricks right now, so I want you guys to let me know in the comments what you guys are excited to read coming up. I have a lot of exciting videos planned for April. I'm so ready to jump into it. I've been slacking a little bit. I've just been very busy lately. There's a lot that has been going on in my life, so I hope you guys understand. I'm sorry about the lack of videos, but I'm going to be better in April and coming into the summer, so thank you for bearing with me. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.